June 6, 1944. Allied powers stormed the beaches in Normandy. The Allied powers crossed the English Channel and landed on the beaches of Normandy in an attempt to liberate all of northern France.
More than 160,000 Allied troops landed along 50 miles of French coastline this morning, with more than 5,000 ships and 13,000 aircraft.
It has been confirmed that the primary reasoning for this invasion was to give the Allies a successful invasion in an attempt to win the war currently going all around the globe. I cautiously tell you that all the storming seas seems to be a success with troops of Americans, Britons, and Canadians seeming to have fulfilled their tasks.
However, we have also received a casualty count since the conclusion of the battle. I regret to inform you that more than 9,000 Allied soldiers have been killed or wounded. The sacrifice of these men now, however, allowed for another 100,000 Allied soldiers the opportunity to continue to make offensive strides in the war.
While speaking with the current General Dwight D. Eisenhower, he has called the operation a quote-unquote crusade in which we will accept nothing less than a full victory. Here is an official message which he has issued since the invasion.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
I heard that the battle was supposed to take place on June 5th, but the bad weather leading up to the invasion caused Eisenhower to delay the operation 24 hours.
That night before, 822 aircraft filled with parachutes headed for the drop zone, and 13,000 aircrafts were mobilized to provide air cover and support for the invasion. By dawn on D-Day, 18,000 parachutes were already on the ground. The invasion began at 6:30 a.m.
Approximately 156,000 Allied troops had stormed Normandy beaches and are actually right now. Caitlin is on set talking to Robert Coupe, 18-year-old, who had been a part of the storming of the beaches. Let's go over to her.
Thank you, Alex. And I'm here with Robert Coupe, as she said, and I'm here to ask you a couple questions on what occurred. So, Mr. Coupe, what was your reaction when you had landed on the beach, and what were you first told to do?
We landed on Sword Beach that morning, and despite the enemy fire, it was a relief to get ashore because we were all so seasick. I didn't care whether I got shot or not. I just wanted to get off that landing craft and get my feet on the ground. The Navy boys brought us as close to the beach as they could, and then we waded to shore with water up to our armpits. My unit was first given orders to march on German-occupied Caen, this Operation Charnwood.
Why was Caen such an important spot to protect?
Well, Caen was the key to capturing Normandy. If the Germans had gotten through Caen, they would have gotten to the beaches in no time. And they knew that if we punched through them at Caen, that would be their lot in France.
What happened at Caen?
Well, I had heard the sound of aircraft engines, and the next thing I knew, there were 500 Lancaster bombers flying over my head. They dropped 2,600 tons of bombs on Caen. The Germans were ready for us, as they knew we had come by this route. As we crossed into no man's land, the hidden German guns opened up with such force. In the waist-high cornfield, when a soldier fell wounded, he disappeared from view, and many lads bled to death because medics couldn't find them. Casualties were heavy, and we, on the frontal assault, felt we were battling in impregnable forces. After hours, we had finally made it into the city's northern suburbs. We left with 100 soldiers and arrived with 18.
What do you think the worst job assigned was?
Definitely to clear the landing areas of obstructions, explosives, and defenses so the troops in armor could quickly get off the beaches. And the most unpleasant task of all was to clean out the wreckage of tanks which had been hit and burnt out.
Thank you, Mr. Coupe, for your time, and thank you for your service. Now, back to you at the scene. Now, a message from America.
In this war. After the terrible depression in World War I, time has come and we are now more prepared and ready than for our home front to win this. Though we cannot do this alone, we need help from the War Production Board.
We can organize mobilization in which would have the power to eliminate most chaos in America. My creator, FDR, made me in 1942, and I am one of the only agencies that has efficient and proficient power to help the production of the war.
You are the key to our success in this country. You will help us become greater, and you are the most hope we have. The materials, weapons, and supplies will be supervised meeting and will not waste our materials. Take the key and come together.
Courageous of Mr. Coupe. Thank you for your service.
Germans had suffered in this battle because of the confusion of ranks and absence of Commander Rommel. Hitler believed the invasion was a distraction in an upcoming attack by the Seine River.
Now let's see how it was like for the German soldiers. We have Caitlin with Private Helmet Romer now.
What were you doing during the invasion?
In de nacht wordt dem officiëlen de beschwachte each day Pegasusburg im Canal in de Normandy.
What were your thoughts when you saw the British coming?
Ich hatte Angst, ich wollte nicht einander scheren, also bin ich mein Leben geflohen, versteckt in den Büschen, zusammen mit meinen zwei Gehalten.
What happened after hiding and watching other soldiers die?
Wir blieben mindestens 4 mehr als in einen Tag versteckt und Services wurde das Kanalwasser zu trinken. Wir haben uns entschieden, uns einfach aufzugeben. Zum Glück nahmen sie uns als Gefangen, anstatt uns sterben zu lassen.
Clear the rim! 30 seconds! Got me with you!
Port side stick, starboard side stick. Move fast and clear those murder holes.
Want to see plenty of beats between men. 5 men is a juicy opportunity. 1 man's a waste of ammo.
Get the sand out of your weapons. Keep those actions clear. We'll see you on the beach. Go, Sarge, go! Right. Come on, Doyle! Sarge! Glenn! Doyle! Stewart! Don't shoot! Let him burn!
One, two.
You don't know what to say. Like you like say like what's on
You
your
know
mind,
what to
don't.
say, but like here you don't. Jillian, are you kidding right now? Ready? Our grade depends on this. Ready?
Babe, dan van Zach.